Hello, I am Ronin Pawn, and this is Kerbal Space Program Challenges. This is going to be our first challenge on the channel. Recently got a comment back on Mission 1, the video for Mission 1, received a comment from KerbalEssences. Very funny little name there. KerbalEssences writes, let's see, where's my, I've got a printout of it here. Okay, here it is. Yeah, he writes, love the channel, Pawn. Oh my god, you're so great. I absolutely love you. I adore you. I'm your biggest fan. Wish I'd been born a woman so that I could make love to your sinewy body, and so forth and so on. Let me just switch to... he goes on like that for a bit. Okay, so basically, he happened to mention somewhere in the comments, too bad you didn't manage to land on the moon. That's what I was looking for when I was looking at the video. And I smell a challenge there. That's what I smelled. That's what I heard. So... we're gonna try it. Basically what we've done is we've taken the model of that ship, that first ship that we took to the moon, and we did a flyby on it, and we've gone really simple with it, actually, and just given ourselves an extra stage of solid fuel below. So we'll have 3 stages of solid fuel, actually 4 stages. Here's the 4th stage that blows everything off, and then at the top, in terms of liquid fuel, I've added how many? No, actually, I think this is the same amount of liquid fuel. So all we've really done is add on this solid fuel, and you can see right here I've put on some little landing legs made out of those little girders. Probably completely unnecessary. I mean, this is a huge ship to be landing on the moon. If we can get it to set down at all, then you know, if it's on its side, we'll be very happy. If it just makes it to the moon, we'll be very happy. But that'll be neat if we can actually set it down on those little girders for landing legs. So, this is our first challenge, Ronin Pawn's first challenge. Land on the moon with the Tier 1 kit. This is all Tier 1 kit. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to go to space? Jebediah's ready. Can we get a countdown, Houston?
Yeah, I got you here, Pawn. Lift off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff of the whatever you named this, Ronin Pawn. I'm going to go get a coffee. Peace out, brother.
Okay, thanks, Houston. So here we go. On our way to the moon, on our way to the moon, and once again this 3-sided symmetry is just incredibly stable, isn't it? Look at that, I'm just making tiny little corrections to keep us dead balls on the sky. Ready to fire the first? And that first stage is now gone, and we got about 2 kilometers and 100 meters per second worth of height off of that, so... that's pretty helpful. I mean, that's more than we had when we started, right? That's more than we had in Mission 1 of our Kerbal Space Career series. So that's going to be a big help, and now we've got the same exact ship that got us to the moon last time. And all I have to do is remember to fly it right while I'm talking and jabbering to you. That's actually the hardest part of the whole thing for me. So, how are we doing now? We're actually coming up to a first gravity turn, and since it's so hard to turn this ship when it's got all this thrust and all this weight, I'm going to start sort of just trying to coax a prograde to fall a little bit in the direction of the 90 degrees on the bubble, ready to follow our next solid fuel stage, popcorn, and we are free of our primary solid fuel stages. So now all I've got to worry about is blowing off this final stage using our liquid fuel engine, and we will be light as a feather, stiff as a board, heading like a dart toward the moon, and I can finally turn over, thank the Lord, ready to fire liquid fuel, and bang, we are free. We are free to move about the cabin. The captain has turned on the smoking light. If you'd like to light one up and give everyone around you a bit of secondhand cancer, then go for it. This would be the time. Okay, Apoaps is already super high, and our turnover is really late, but that's okay. The moon's right over there, so if we come in a little late, if we come in a little shallow, if we come in at all, we'll be more than satisfied. We don't really know that this is going to be able to plant us down on the moon. We're definitely doing better than we were back when we started this, back in Mission 1, in the mission that sort of inspired the idea to actually land on the moon with the Tier 1 kit. So we've got a lot more speed and a lot more height out of our previous stages than we did before. This should get us somewhere. Don't know where exactly. Don't know if it's going to let us land on the moon and come home. Don't know if it's going to let us land on the moon even, really, but we will find out together right here, right now, today, on the Ronin Pawn Channel. Ronin Pawn Channel brought to you by the Rockamax Corporation. Rockamax, building rockets and killing Kerbins for a very, very long time. Very professional about it, Rockamax is. They know exactly how to blow a Kerbin up. There is a very specific way. You've seen, these Kerbins are really hard to destroy, to be honest. You know, you'll just throw them at the surface of a planet and they'll just bounce off of it. But Rockamax, no, they're professionals. They know exactly what they need to do in order to kill Kerbins. So, if you're going to be shopping for rocketry, I have to recommend that you look into Rockamax. They do sponsor the channel, so literally, I have to recommend it. I don't have a choice. Okay, let's just try and... I don't want to actually drop that periapse down to the surface of the moon. And I've done exactly what I said I didn't want to do. Perfect. We must be on the Ronin Pawn Channel. And let's just start time warping up to the moon. If you're looking at the liquid fuel, then stop it. Stop looking at the liquid fuel. It doesn't mean anything. I can do this. I can do this. No. So here we are on our way to the moon, very slowly, very, very laggily. We're waiting for the... Yes, there you go. We're out into space now. You don't need to lag anymore. We're coming into the moon's gravity shortly. I wonder what the absolute best fuel-efficient way is to land on the moon. Because, you know, you've really just got... I mean, at either end of the spectrum, what you're looking at is either a suicide burn, dive toward the surface and then just burn everything at once in order to stop yourself, or to, you know, get in orbit and burn into circularization and all of that. And that seems like that would be more efficient to me, fuel-wise, but at the same time... Oh, hello, slow down, brother, slow down. Something like this might be efficient as well. We've got about 800 meters per second worth of speed that we're going to have to take off before we slam into the surface of the moon. I'm going to press the F5 key right now, in case some of you have any qualms about whether or not I can pull this off. I can't. Just thought I'd let you know up front. Don't want to be lying to you. Okay, here we are. Point that toward the sky. And how low should we go before we start our burn? We're just going to keep generating speed, but we're going to be picking that up one way or the other. Should we just sort of dive toward it and do the suicide burn? Or, well, let's do that. Since that's what I'm talking about, we'll dive toward it and do a suicide burn, and then if that doesn't work, there's always the F9 key, isn't there? There's always a quick load. So we're about 10,000 meters up now. 10 kilometers above the surface of the moon, and we can't say, oh, the moon looks very high, actually. So I'm going to start burning right now, about 8 kilometers above, and see what happens. See whether or not we can even slow our speed enough to get a landing. We're definitely not coming off of the moon here. And no, we're not. That's as slow as we could get it. We dropped about 600 meters per second, and we're 6,000 meters above the surface of the moon, so that didn't work out exactly. I think what we would need to do... Here's what I'm thinking. Add one more fuel tank to the stack, okay? One more fuel tank to the stack, that'll give us a little more to burn, and then we've got to be very smart about using the moon to sort of brake, to slow ourselves down. I know that we're going to have a periapse at the moon's gravity is going to draw us in, but we can slow things down a bit if we just plan it correctly. Jeb? I was going to tell Jeb that he might want to step out of the ship. So, revert to vehicle assembly, thank you, that never happened, Jeb is still alive. Jebediah never dies. He's in our hearts forever. So slap on another fuel tank. There we are. We've got... no, don't do that. What? Oh, yeah, that's better. And a little bit... yeah, that, no, yeah, and perfect. Nope, that didn't do it either. What's your problem, mate? Just get on the ship, thank you very much. Okay, make sure I didn't break her staging. I don't know why, but I have such horrible luck with staging that I'm afraid of it a little bit. So we're up to the Mark 12 of the Moon Challenger. Challenger, yeah, it's a challenge, get it? So we'll save the Mark 12, and as long as we're here, you can see all the other versions of... I was getting really complicated with this build. I was thinking, oh, well, if we put this up here, then we can, you know, blast off some extra, and we'll just have a nice little lunar lander that we can take down. And it's just the weight ratios to the thrust it's all absolutely ridiculous. It's, at a certain point, you hit the, you sort of jump the shark in terms of your fuel, your thrust to weight ratio, and the rule of diminishing returns turns into the rule of you ain't going anywhere. Sorry. So building the ship any bigger is not really going to help us out that much. In fact, this extra fuel tank may make us actually less efficient rather than more efficient. We will find out together, though, right here, right now, in 3, 2, 1, go. And off again we are to the moon. Jebediah at the helm. Uh-oh, we're falling off of our center already. Oh, I didn't control that very well at the beginning. If you don't control it right from the very start, then things can go very, very wrong, especially when you've got a very tall, a very long ship like this. All you have to do is get that prograde slipping in any one direction, and you can be buggered in a heartbeat. I've gotten very good at the destructible staging, by the way, while I've been running this. While I've been trying to figure out this Moon Landing on Tier 1, I've gotten incredibly good at destructible staging. I almost don't even have to think about it anymore, because I have messed it up so many times in a row that it's now become very difficult for me to mess it up. That's how training is. That's how life works. Pop. And you see, I'm just popping them right at the very bottom of the tank so that we get the most out of them that we possibly can. As you can see, we've slipped a bit down the ball, down the nav ball here. This tier is going to be the long burn, so I have to fire this rocket a little early. Got to keep that in mind. It's actually working out pretty well, I'd say. Ready to burn there. Okay, that should pop those fuel tanks. Oh, it was perfect timing too, wasn't it? We got every vapor, every drop, every vapor of fuel out of that tank before it went. That was beautiful. So, this last stage, just got to burn it off with liquid fuel, which we'll be doing momentarily. En momentito, por favor, señorita. Pueblo donde... Uh-oh. Yes, perfect. That was absolutely perfect. We have gotten every drop of fuel out of every tank that we possibly could, and we are at 30 kilometers. And we're just now getting into our liquid fuel, our 7 quarter tanks of liquid fuel. So we've got the best chance that we're ever going to get here, I think. I think if we built the ship any bigger at all, it would be a snake eating its own tail. It would be too big to be efficient, and it wouldn't be going anywhere. So, let's look at our Rapo-apps. Let's look at our trajectory. Let's look at the bloody moon. There it is. Ain't she beautiful out there? Big grey... You got something on your face, love. You might want to... Yeah, it's just a big grey circle right here in the middle of the face. Just wipe it, just like this. Just a little bit. No, she's not doing it. Well, we'll come up there and we'll wipe it all for you. How does that sound? Yes, that's a good idea. Actually, I think that's Minmus behind her. Is that what that is? No, that's just the logo. It's just the graphical interface. It's the GUI. The graphical user interface. And Rapo-apps is coming up, and we are still looking at 250. Well, it's running away on us very quickly, but still 200 units of liquid fuel. That's not bad. Not bad. And we're up to 1 million on our Rapo-apps, so we're doing good. This is got potential. We need about 100 units of fuel to be able to deorbit and get home. Can we do that? Well, maybe we can, he said as he hit the quick save key. That looks pretty good, it does. Yeah. So let's lower our periaps very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Oh, and this is good. This is good. Yeah, you see that little bend there? I think that's going to be good in terms of trying to slow ourselves down. Okay, what should I do? Should I circularize? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save that here, and I'm going to plan to circularize. Okay? Because I don't know which is better, the suicide burn or the circularization. So we'll do the circularization, and we'll see how that works. And then, if that's rubbish, then we'll do the suicide burn. We'll just come back here and run the mission from here. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, time warp, go! Boy, I would just like to actually go for the landing. Because we're on the best side right here, aren't we? You know what? Here, I'm going to quick save here and just go for the landing. If that doesn't work, we'll circularize. I'm reversing my logic. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Get over onto our retrograde and burn that periaps down. Periaps is... Oh, actually, we're just starting our circularization very far out, but that could work. That could work. I'm watching our fuel drip away. Watching our fuel drip away. Yes. See, now that's what I wanted to do. Look, we're going to put down right on the edge of that crater there. This is pretty good. I like this, and we've still got 93 units of fuel, liquid fuel, to take us there. We're up to 700 meters per second. Should I slow us down in stages? I just don't know what the most efficient way is to land on the moon. Yeah. Well. I am going to do it because I don't want to build up like 800 meters per second and have to shave all of that off. So I am going to slow us down more and more and more and more. In little stages, in little bursts. Okay. Coming back up to 700. Well, we're up to 650. So another little burst. Down to 600 again. Drop a bit more. Oh, the moon arch, the moon arch. Burn for it, burn for it. Do you see the moon arch down there? Go for it, mate, go for it. Come on, set down, set down. Almost there, almost there. Yes, alright. We're not going to have any fuel to come off of the moon, but we're setting down on a moon arch, so if you have any complaints, submit them to my buttocks. I don't care. We're setting down near the moon arch. This is going to be great. Warp on down. Warp on down now. Oh, this is bloody horrible terrain to be coming down on, isn't it? And we're almost up to 100 meters a second again. Am I going to be able to land this? It's coming up very, very fast. Okay, that's a little better. Can I push us northwards? No, we're not going to land this. Oh, this is very tense. This is very tense. Are we going to actually stop ourselves from crashing into... Oh, look at this. We're on the edge of a mountain. We're on the edge of a crater. Oh, yes, we've done it. We've done it. We have successfully landed on the moon. And our ship is completely intact. Okay, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how to get to the moon. I have no idea how to come off of the moon, but that's how you get to the moon on Tier 1 parts. And I'm sure we could do it just a bit better, but I don't see coming off of the moon with this. So, that said, thank you very much for watching as we slide across the surface of Kerbin's moon and start to explode. I'm Ronin Port, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.